really love train travel. If you've been to China, you've seen the extraordinary high-speed trains here. So for instance, when I go to Shanghai, most often, it's about 4.5 hours between Beijing and Shanghai. It's faster by plane. I prefer the train because, when you take that trip, you cross the Yellow River, which is, it's like the Missouri River of China. Then you cross the Yangtze, and that's like the Mississippi of China. You see the great cities. You roll through Nanjing before you get to Shanghai. It's extraordinary. I've been to Xi'an by train. I've been to Wuhan by train. And it's just the best way to travel. And, I don't travel first class. I travel second class because the US government, I think quite rightly, wants us to economize. And so, you sit next to a Chinese person, you talk. You walk up and down the aisle and you say hello to people. And I've told Steve, I'm desperately trying to learn Mandarin. I've got
How's it going?
I'm a struggling student of Mandarin. The tones are difficult, but you try out your Mandarin on people. It's a way to engage. Diplomacy can be very isolated. You can live in a bubble, and I don't want to live in a bubble. So I prefer the trains, and I'm going to keep traveling by the trains. I usually will do some social media, and it's interesting how that has a resonance. The Chinese people respect when you are with them. Maybe you say something positive, and I think it's very important, despite the competition, that we say to them, you have a great train system. We admire you for that.
Yeah.
And so thanks for the question, Chris.
Yeah, I love train travel too. And one of my dreams, which I guess is not going to be realized, having been a regular commuter between Boston and Washington,
right,
on a very slow train.
Amtrak's getting better. We're making the largest investment in the history of Amtrak. And that's because of President Biden and the infrastructure bill.
Yes, right. Well, he, of course, is the Amtrak president, but we're not. Any chance we can use Chinese high-speed technology in the United States on that rail line, which would improve my life markedly? I'm
not aware that we're going to use Chinese technology. I think this is going to be an all-American process. But Mitch Landrieu, who runs this infrastructure program, but the person who knows more about Amtrak than anybody else is President Biden. We are going to see, I think, a dramatic, over time, improvement, because I'm a Bostonian, in that travel Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington.
But it's never going to be like New
and
York.
Wilmington.
It won't be like New York to Shanghai. I mean, the Beijing to Shanghai.
Well, you never know.
You were